respected chairperson and distinguished scholar and guests and others present here. My topic, actually, we are working on Northeast, basically Tripura. I working in Tripura long times, and I actually explore my paper how the Saivism or Saiva cult as a in Tripura, and not only Tripura but also that regions that are so popular. And actually, there are also some problems in that part, because there are also research in Northeast, basically in Tripura and in Northeast. The mainstream historian but mainstream researchers, they are not actually field visit, or they are not basically they uses the real sources, but they are superficial narrative they are published. So we can try to change that thoughts and the research methodology and actually issues in mainstream history. So in Tripura, next slide. Actually, that is the Tripura, present Tripura. Tripura is a 1964, 1946 to 1949. Tripura politics was a so turmoil, because Tripura, where the Tripura actually they joined Pakistan or India. So there are also the problems, and now finally in 1949 Tripura joined in India, and that is this that times they got the Tripura this geography, because there all the borders is actually in Bangladesh. You can see the red is only for Assam and Mizoram, they're connected. Okay, so but this but heritage or location, Tripura is actually that location, very important location. They are connected to Southeast Asia and also the East India. Actually, that is also the Eastern India. That is also be there. The how, because there are so many trade route also be there. They are connected. They from the Nalanda, and not only Nalanda, that also the Benares and all these places, they connected to Southeast Asia through the Tripura. I published the 3-4 paper, how to trade route from that place to in Arakan. There are missionaries and also these missionaries and also traders. They are actually tradings and all these things, and that's also the traders also. And with the missionaries, they are all these religion cultures. They are actually explored are expanded from that areas. Next slide. Actually, and Tripura. So ancient Tripura, that is called the Tripura. Tripura also the linkage. We are not. This is not Tripura. That also I talking about the 6th century CE. And that part, and also the Manikko dynasty, and before that is joining the India 1949. That Tripura was actually extended Tripura. That is also linked with this Sylhet, Somotato, Noakhali, Chittagong, and that part. And that is also a lot of we can got this actually inscription, the Mohipal inscription, Meherpur copper plate. There are also there's a lot of things also there. I not a detailed discussion. Next slide. Actually, that is also the first archaeological sources. We are talking about that the inscriptions, the Gunaighar inscription. That is also first archaeological sources. The Boinagupta. He actually he was the Brahmanical thoughts and religion, Hindu religion, and he also actually gifted the land for temple Poddursara temple. That is also the, you can know this, that is also the combined form, the Harihara. We are talking about the Vishnu and Shiva. That is also the actual sculptures where the museum is there. And this is also the earliest times, and there are detailed, I have not detailed all these things because time is not permitted, because that inscriptions, they are dominating, how to the dominating and popular the Shaivisms and in that part, because it is in that part, and how the Shaiva cultures and people also they are also linked with that. Next. And next inscriptions, we can, these inscriptions also the Kharga dynasty. The Kharga dynasty also the actually Buddhist dynasty, but they have to actually, they actually donated the Saiva and Shivani that forms. And we are inscriptions also be there. There are a lot of things, because that the Shaivism also in that time also the dominating. And people also they accepted. That is also the more basic things. The people dominating, people also that religion, their practices, the forcefully. That also the Buddhist, many times we can see the Buddhist king also they donated these many, not only the Saiva but also the Vishnu and other things also there. Next, and I come to the important actually sculptures. These sculptures actually very much rare, not only the eastern, not only in Tripura but also the eastern India, because this is also the 12 hand Nataraja temple. That is also the actually basically the private collection in Khwai, the place of Khwai. Khwai is actually one city, now the subdivision, and there are also the private collection and worship is there. And this type of the actually 12 hand Nataraj we are got from 4 places in that place in extend Tripura, because the 2 from Dhaka district and 1 from Chattogram, another from Rajshahi. The 2, the Dhaka district, they are also kept in National Museum in Bangladesh. They are also be there. And one is Barendra Research Center, that is also with Rajshahi, and another is Indian Museum in Calcutta. And another is most important things is there. The another Nataraja temple, Nataraja sculptures, they are also preserved in the collection, also the Asutosh Museum in Calcutta. And that is also the Kullan Das Gupta is actually, there are also paper, they publish the paper. And that is also not there's a damaging also be there. These not properly, all hands are also be there. But what, next slide. That is also, you can see this is also the Khwai actually sculptures, and this is also everyday worship. That's also the sculptures also the damaging. But there's not importance for actually, that is also the archaeological values and other things. The people, they are also private collections, and that everyday washings and all these things also the going on. And next, you can see, there is also there are the 3, the Indian Museum, that is the 2 are also the actually Bangladesh, Dhaka Museum, and another thing, Rajshahi, Barendra Museums, that will also be there. So you can see all these sculptures, they are same artisans groups that made, or in Khwai, they are actually came from the Kumilla and that part, and they are this actually that type of actually that type of the iconographical forms they developed. But there is also the important features in the Khwai Nataraj sculptures. All these bulls, you can see the bulls, the 3 here, but the 4 bulls, the left side. But only for, you can see the previous slide. You can see the right side, the bull. That is also the iconography. That is also the most important things. We are not detailed discussing the iconography. What is the features and other things, because the others actually, I have 2 papers on this actually Dr. Sculptures, because that is most important sculptures in the art histories. That is not only the India and Bengal schools. Okay, so next. I come to the important actually centers, the Saiva centers, and that is called the Unokuti. There are also the legend and the rock temples, all are the rock cut sculptures. The Unokuti means the one core, actually less one, the one core. That is also the actually they believed, because they are the one core gods and goddesses is there, but their story, their long story, there are so many legend is there. So this name is the Kailas Sahar, and the Shiva, they made this actually the city as a Kailas, and it is not actually they are planning to actually made this city, but it is not finished in the one night. So that is called the Unukuti. The Unukuti, there is actually the so many many interpretation, many actually observation, many historian the observation, the how these rock cut also developed, how that types of the things also developed, actually Niharanjan Rais and many things also be there. I am not a detail all these things. Next slide. I come to the direct. These are huge actually sculptures, rock cut sculptures, and that also the 5 kilometers areas, and this is location from Agartala to 180 kilometers, and that is also the deep forest, but later on we are archaeological survey, they are the site, they are actually the site also take about they took this site archaeological survey of India 1950, and after that they're developing this site, and there are a lot of insurgency problems and damaging many things. Next. And what are the importance actually important things is there. This is also the Unokuti shore, means that called the Unokuti, and this is actually the big the size is actually the huge size. They are 90 centimeters long, and you can see the next you can see how the actually the photographs, and there also the next you can next. We just this important actually rock cut, and we are very much, you can see this mustak and other things, and localized features also be there. Next you can see the, and you can just, this is the Cambodia Devaraj cult. Okay, so we are what I can explore and I can interpret and research, that also the Devaraj cult in Cambodia, and you can see the Cambodia Devaraj cult, and you can early slide, and also the this Unokuti. And also the Unukuti, there also the maybe we are not the actually, we are definite, we are not actually getting any archaeological sources or legend, but we can we have some actually the Riang, there's Riang community also be there. Riang community, they every years in Makar Sankranti they came, and this is also priest. They are called the Ochai, and this Ochai actually Riang communities, and there actually there many songs and many there are many actually the stories. The one stories also be there. They are linked with the Arakan and extent of the Arakan. So and Devaraj cult, the another chronicles, the Rajmala. There is the most important chronicles in Tripura Maniko dynasty. They are also the one king. They are the Trilochono. And Trilochono also, Trilochono, he born by actually blessings of Shiva. and he actually Tilochana was linked with the Sivo, and Sivo also the Devaraja cult. We are talking with the Devaraja cult. There also this concept also be there. The Devaraja cult and the king also became a actually god. Okay, this also that is also we are linkage the concept. Also the Southeast Asia, because this concept also developed because the lot of trade relation, the trade routes, and that place to Sylhet. This is also linked of this Sylhet. You can go to the hills. There are all hills. You can cross the hills. There are also linked to the Sylhet, and Sylhet to the and also you can Myanmar, the Arakan, the ancient Arakan. That is also be there. Next slide. The next. This Devaraja cult. This is the another. Next. This is also the Cambodia, and the next. This is also the another features, and I come to the another sculptures that also the link to this actually this is Cambodia, this Devaraja cult and Cambodia. Next. You can see the many things also the similarity also be there, but this similarity means that the artisans groups they are actually they are the that not the matured forms of Unokuti, but these matured forms we can see in Cambodia, because that the sponsor we can see actually the artisans they are need this support for economy. We are assume that they are not actually we are not getting any kings or any traders groups they supported the artisans, because it is not built up the one day or actually the long period. So we are working. My groups also we are Myanmar's and and myself and others 3 persons we are working, and we are actually linkage how they are actually who are the sponsor. We are just assume that the Arakan kings, the small kings also there is also name the actually Sikangs. The Sikangs also they are the young peoples and also the Mog people. They are also believe that they are extension the whole areas. The king also the dominating. This is also actually the legend, and we are collecting these the belief and other things. Okay, so next you can see you can next. There are also the lot of sculptures is there. Lot of sculptures actually not only in the Sivo, the varieties of Sivo is there. Tirimukha Sivo and 4-face Sivo is there. The 4-face Sivo also the Myanmar and presently Arakan, that place also be there. So that Sivo. Over. 5 minutes. I conclude. And also the 4-face Sivo, there are also the 12 hands also be there. So that is not as the matured form. That is also be there. Next, I can finish it. This is also Durga. Next, that is also the another form of the Durga. Next. This is also you can see the varieties types of the Durga and Saraswati and all forms also be there. I have not detailed each actually slide also they need the 6-7 times. Okay, means times. There are also the Ganapati and Kartika also be there. Next, this is also Ganapati, and the varieties of the Ganapati also 4 Ganapatis I say photographs. Next, and that is also the Ganapati you can see. Next, that is also the Ganapati, and this is also the actually very matured forms of Ganapati also be there. Next, that is also my actually humble submission. What are the actually my conclusion? This conclusion also be there in Tripura, and actually that place, nobody actually work that place. And we are working, and now we are explored, and exploring, and we are linkage the Tripura, how to the Tripura, there are also before that in everybody they established there are also the trade route by the waters, through the waters. But I published the paper, 3 paper, the British Archaeological Reviews, and there also I claim this accepted, because everybody accepted that also the traders they through Moinamoti, that also be there, Moinamoti, Pilak, and the Manipur, and that route, there also the trade route also connected the Arakan. Okay, and that's why the so many sculptures and centers also we developed. Thanking you.